Goeiedag, good day, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world.
I've been looking around for salvation. I've been looking around for the truth. All around me I see frustration, and I looked all over till I found you. I sit and listen to your stories, and you're telling me, please don't worry. It's a lot in this world you should know, and love in life is where you should go. If you're looking for somewhere to go, if you're looking for someone to know, if you're looking for someone to guide you, then love in life will guide you. I know that life outside is so.
Goeienaand, good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world, and welcome to tonight's live stream. And I've got to say that it's always a pleasure speaking to people from Orania. What an amazing place it is. And before I actually get into the pre-recorded live stream that I held this morning with Paul, I just want to speak very quickly about the live stream we have on Monday night. That's the 26th of June. I'm going to have Colonel Wynand du Toit on live here on Loving Life TV, and we're going to be talking about what the heck is going on at Saitlanders, because clearly something is broke. Anyway, without any further ado, I'm going to now get this show on the road, and here we go. Another initiative by Orania, which is changing the world. And if there are young people listening in particular who are looking at getting into the trades, wow, what an opportunity you've got here. Let's get this going. Here we go. Hi, Paul. Good to meet you.
Hi, Scott.
Now, Paul, you work for an extraordinary, or you're part of an extraordinary community, which is Orania. I've been covering Orania for years now, and there's an amazing group of people who are just doing wonderful things in the Northern Cape near the Orange River. Now, tell me a bit about your background before we get into your work at Orania. How did you come to get to this point in time?
Scott, I grew up in a small town in the Free State. My father was a pastor there, and then we moved to Potchefstroom. Also, that was at that stage, I think the Afrikaans town in South Africa with the university then. So I grew up in a Afrikaans culture, and I knew that I wanted to do something for education in my life while doing business. And my father, my mother, and my grandfather, all of them went to an Afrikaans university, and they was part of the building experience there. So I went through the same there, and after my studies and when I started to work with the state transforming a lot of the universities into English, our mother tongue education theory was moving towards something else. And I started to work at a few new Afrikaans higher education institutions. That started from scratch again, developing new courses,
Right.
just giving students a chance to study in their mother tongue. And then, yeah, in January this year, I moved to Orania. I got an opportunity here to start building a training and education center here. And that's where we are now. It's very cold today, but we are.
I can see you rugged up. Now, okay, so you arrived in Orania, this most amazing community, where they're now looking at going off the grid. They've got their own solar power and all that sort of stuff. I mean, I just think what they're doing is fantastic. And I believe the community there is growing very, very fast. In fact, exponentially, isn't it?
Yes, yes, definitely. And from my side of view, the students that we get here to give them education is also building in this community. We've got 110 students this year, and I'm going for 200 next year. So that's also exponential growth for the community. 100 students coming from outside into the community and making the economy growing, and people. Yeah, there's a lot of potential, and part of this community is our students. We've got a wholesome community from toddlers to high school students, and then the students, and then the elderly. Everyone in the community is part of the community.
Yeah. Oh, look, that's fantastic. And you're involved in a very special organization, um, which is I'm going to keep this in English because a lot of people that are listening won't know Afrikaans, and I know that Afrikaans is your mother tongue, so I appreciate you battling with English, but you're doing a great job. Now, who is the Bo-Karoo Training Education organization? Tell us a bit about it.
Yes. Bo-Karoo Opleiding in Afrikaans is a training facilities in Orania, and we're focusing on mainly on three lines of education. So in the construction and building line, we are in a kind of a construction countryside town where we're still building a lot of houses and the community is growing. So we are supplying in the workforce in students studying building and construction, electricians and plumbers. And then we've got a agricultural line. We've got 25 students studying agriculture now. It's the second year this year. And for the Bo-Karoo countryside it's a broader spectrum around Orania as well. We're supplying in the students for them, and then we've got a course focusing on home care. It's a home carer, mostly women studying that to care for the elderly or small children. So we're supplying in students, and all of these students are working in the community. So while they're studying in Orania at Bo-Karoo, they have practical work that they need to do to get their diploma, and that they do it into the community. So that's one of the ways we integrate also into the community, giving workforce for the companies here, and the students get a lot of experience while they study.
Fantastic. Look, I saw a video the other day about Orania and how it's growing, and it has got so much history, and I love that little area where they've got the sculptures on these little pedestals, and I think Vogel is there as well, and it's just culturally it is such a unique place in the world, isn't it?
Yes, definitely. And recently I was in a meeting just 2 days ago. We've got a project now there on that sculpture copy where we are putting out a walkway for the students and the community and everyone visiting Orania, that you can walk on the small mountain there, experiencing the nature and just a new activity. So that's also another way the students are part of building helping to build the community out, making it easier for everyone, and seeing what all the historical places that we've got here. We're trying to link them up together, so that it's easier to get there. We've got our history we've got a strong history of a lot of good things that our community would like to tell and teach our children and the rest of our community, that in the rest of the country people are shy to say that they are part of an Afrikaans community, and here we are proud of it. We like to embrace that, the good there in, and that is what makes us an Afrikaans community, Afrikaner community.
Yeah. Well, look, I think Orania is probably the only town in South Africa that has no water and sewage problems, and has basically built up a situation where it can go off the grid. And I often talk about this in my live streams. I say, isn't it interesting that the rest of South Africa, under ANC government or local government rule, the municipalities or towns have gone to a piece of shit. In fact, on the 29th of June, I'm talking to people from the district of Ugu, where they haven't had water for months. And isn't it interesting that here you've got an Afrikaner town, which everything runs like clockwork, and it just kind of spells out the difference between what can be done and how it's been screwed up by the ANC.
I can give you a practical example with our students. They come from across South Africa, Cape Town, Victoria, wherever, and where they're from, they cannot walk outside at night and feel safe. And yeah, we've got a campus without any walls around us. Students feel safe. They can walk around. They can take part in the community activities. So that's a big plus point for us. We are very glad that we can live like that. Another one is just the normal tap water out of the tap. You can drink it, and
I think it's the only place in South Africa where you can.
Yes, that's something that it was for me something great to.
Yeah.
From Pretoria, where I'm from, you couldn't do that.
You get cholera. We shouldn't be laughing, but it's true. Yeah. Well,
that's very sad.
I'll let you into a little secret, and that is that Marlena, who you've spoken to, one of her family has actually bought a plot in Orania, and she is so excited.
She visited me on Friday.
Oh, did she? Oh, fantastic. Oh, there you go. Gee, it's a small world, isn't it? Now, what does Bo-Karoo training offer to new students who come and join your training courses?
Like I said, I'll expand on the training courses.
Yes.
But the whole countryside feeling and the safety around the community, I think, is something that you cannot experience anywhere else in South Africa. So apart from that, we've got a good student activities and student life. Expanding on that, we've got a lot of sport and cultural activities. They take part in a lot of activities just to form the student on a social level. And then on the academic side, we've got the 5 courses at this stage: the agricultural, it's farm management, the plumbers, electricians, and the building and construction workers, and then the home carers. So the students, we're trying to focus on the practical side of education. It's not higher education, but it's after school, and there's a lot of practical work on that. Like I said, trying to focus on the need in the town for workers in construction and electricians. So we're trying to supply that, and then moving a bit outside into the broader community, and that's where there's a lot of farmers around us, and a lot of them need students there to help them expand in farming.
Absolutely. Now, You mentioned the students come from all over South Africa to do these courses. What are there any conditions? I mean, I guess speaking Afrikaans is obviously an important one, but are there any other conditions? If I was, let's say, in Durban and I spoke Afrikaans, but I would love to go to Orania and do your course, what other conditions are required before I can do it?
Yes. There's a few academic conditions. So you need to the 5 courses differ, but mainly you need to have a matric certificate, and then like you said, it is in Afrikaans. We teach in Afrikaans. It's in the Afrikaans community. So we've got English students coming from Cape Town, studying at our training facilities, but they are part of the Afrikaans community. Yeah, so we've got hostels here. They live in the hostels. It's a 2-year diploma, and yeah, that's mainly. It's not a lot of that's only those two. So it is Afrikaans. We're doing it in our mother tongue for our community. So
Yeah,
I think that's the two things.
I love it. Now, for students who want to say, let's say the agricultural course or one of the tradesman courses, what are the costs per year to actually stay at your hostel and to do the course? What sort of money is involved?
The hostels is 1,800 a month. So what I think is a good price for students. And
1,800 rand a month?
Yes.
That's nothing.
Yes. I think
Is that for just the hostel or also for the training?
That's just the hostel.
Yeah.
And then for the training, it depends and differs from the courses, but it's from let's say from 35,000 to 45,000, depending now on the courses. There's some of them has got a more tools and
yeah.
So yeah, it's in that range. And then part of that, we've got one of our sister companies is Help in the Hand. Our students can apply there for financial loans.
Oh, fantastic.
Rent on it. Yes, so we're trying to help our students with that as well.
Okay, can I just interrupt there for a second? So what you're saying is that I think Help in the Hunt is part of solidarity. And what you're saying is that students for 1,800 rand a month, and that's obviously excluding holidays when they're not at the hostel, there's a 35,000 to 45,000 rand cost. Is that for the 2-year course or is that per year?
Per year.
Okay, so if I was going to, let's say, do a plumbing course, just as a ballpark, it would be like 2 lots of 35,000 rand, and then 1,800 rand per month to stay at the hostel, which includes obviously meals and everything else, and you can get a loan if it's approved by Help in the Hunt.
Yes, without rent. So they give you
with no and rent is interest, so there's no interest. Wow.
They still need to the students get together and make meals together. There's a lot of restaurants in the community there where students can get a healthy meal every day. So that's part of our integration into the community. So as a training facilities, we don't have our own, let's say, a eetzal or a
dining room.
Yeah, like dining room. Yes, sorry, and we integrate into the community. So we want someone else to focus on that. Our main focus is training and education.
Okay. So the hostel fees are just for the sleeping and the accommodation and not the food. Okay. Let's just be very clear on that. Okay. So for 1,800 rand per month, which is your rental of a room and accommodation, and then you can go and eat in the town. Obviously, you have to pay for that separately. But the courses per year are between 35 to 45,000 rand, depending on which course it is. And Help in the Hunt, in some cases, will provide a loan to needy people who will then, without paying interest, pay that money back at a later stage.
Yes, so after your studies, you start paying when you start working, you can start paying off that loan,
How,
rent free.
how many students can you take?
Well, our goal for next year is 170 students, new students, plus the second years we've got then. But I think we can take more than that. We're building, and I'll tell you a bit later about our future plans. But
Yeah.
we've got a lot of plans to expand this into a huge training facility. I think the potential is
Fantastic.
here. And 200 is, I think it's a huge step forward, but it's still small in the bigger community.
Okay, so what is student life like for your students in Orania? I mean, look, I know that it's the safest town in South Africa, and I know that if I was walking on the streets of Krugersdorp, for example, I would not be doing it after the dark. But in Orania, you can literally walk around at 2 o'clock in the morning in the streets and you'll be fine.
Yes, the community doesn't like that. The students are not the quiet students, so they they wake up everyone, but that's part of being a student. Like I said, yeah, we've got it's quite different from a university because the students, they've got practical work, they've got theory, and then they go out to a business and do that work. So there's 3 stages in their course. But in between, we've got rugby teams, netball teams.
Oh, wow. Go the Sharks! I'm from Natal.
Last weekend, all the Cheetahs was very glad when they won the Blue Bull. So we've got a lot of community activities as well. We integrate the students into the cultural activities that we've got in the town, in the community, and to take part in that because we are part of the community. So
yeah.
We had a holiday let's take an example like Gelofte Feest on the 16th of December. That Afrikaners
Day of the Vow.
Yes, and our students take part in that. We've got first we've got a church
service,
and when we go to that, and students are part there, and then afterwards we've got a herdenking. We
Thanksgiving.
Yes, almost like that, and our students are, like I said, they come from across South Africa, and most of them do not know or didn't even take part in any cultural activities where they're from. And here in Orania, we as a training facilities is integrated into that community. So we've got 3 hostels here, and they take part in activities between each other. But then these 3 hostels, as a community, as a student community, take part into the community's activities.
Fantastic.
We had a rugby tournament here that the community held for a lot of schools and a lot of students. Depends on the let's say under 21s or under 18s or under 19s, and students take part in that. A team took part there, and the same in the netball. Yes, so there's a lot of student life going on. We also have student leaders taking part or taking lead with the students to make it their own. A lot of traditions going on. They're greeting I think one of the outstanding points in the community is that everyone is greeting each other. I think when you were here, you also saw that, and our students also part of that. We've got a community, a culture of greeting each other, and that's part of who we are, and we are living that out.
You know what you need. You know what you need to call it. In fact, it's the very same in Afrikaans. The Orania salute. That's what you need to call it, because because when a car drives past another car, you sort of say hello. It's like a little salute. I think that's what you guys should call it. But anyway.
Yeah.
Now, I'm just thinking about this whole idea of people coming from all over the country. Do you take young women and young men as well, or is it just young men that you train?
No, young women as well. Yeah, in fact, we want more women here. I think we're not at a 50-50 at this stage. But
Yeah.
in the home care, the home carer that we train,
Right.
mostly it's women training there. Therefore, and that's the first step, I'll say, towards nursing. A home carer is someone that looks after the elderly in the community. Here, they work at the clinic, at the elderly homes, at the child care, the preschool, and that's where they get the experience from. And mainly that's women work studying that. And like I said, it's not just after schoolers or 18-year-old students. Some of them are 26, 28.
Wow.
That decided to study something. They went to work first, and then they came at a point where they want to study. And yeah, they came here.
Now, is there an age limit? Like if you're over 40, you can't do this, or is it any age?
Any age.
So if I'm nearly 70, so I could theoretically go and stay in the hostel and do one of these courses.
Yes, you don't need to stay in the hostel. You can stay private in the town.
I think I would do that.
we can teach you how to build your own home.
That's absolutely amazing. So tell me, Paul, why should students choose Bo-Karoo training?
I think it's two reasons for me. And the one is the cultural side, and we are proud to be an Afrikaner community and proud to say who we are and to teach that for our students and give them that safe student life and a good experience. And on the side of that is quality training. That's the two main pillars of good education.
Yeah.
And forming a student on the social side and helping them to learn more about themselves and giving them a quality training. Our student life here, like I said, I think it's something that you cannot get anywhere else in South Africa, just mainly for where we are and who we are. A student in the city is different than a student in the countryside. That's a big difference. But yeah, that's mainly the two things.
Well, look, I think one of the most important and wonderful things, I mean, I see Orania like this sort of mystical, biblical little community which has just got everything going for it, and in a world which is crazy. You know, it's just like a little island, you know, just sitting there and just performing. It's just amazing. So all these students who come and do your course at Orania, they're going to not only be learning how to do various trades or work with kids and stuff like that, but they're also going to be integrating into the Orania community. Tell me about that.
Yes. So the cultural side, like I said, the students grew up in a home or in a town where there's almost zero cultural activities for them. There's a South African culture of rugby and mainly those kind of things. But in Orania, we teach them more about who we are and where we came from.
Yeah.
So we've got that integration into the Afrikaner community here.
Yeah.
But on a economic scale, we like I said, our students go and eat at the restaurants here. They go in the gym in the town. We, as a training facilities, we don't have our own sports facilities. We integrate into the bigger community, broader community, to take part in all of those activities as well. So our focus is on quality training and education, and as part of that, we give our students a broader ervaring, a broader integration into that community. So they learn to greet, or they learn it's now still a small community in the sense of where our students are moving around, and they know everyone around them, and that's the integration. So even if you are working in the supermarket here, the students know them by name.
Yeah.
When they go, and that's the integration into the broader community. It's not just the student life on their own. There's high school children, preschoolers, elderly, and the students are part of that bigger community. And that's the integration we talk about. Our churches are integrated into our hostels as well. So
Wow.
we've got a social worker from a church community side on the now I need that English word of. So there's a worker from out the church community, working in our hostels, helping our students, supporting them through their life issues, and that's something special as well for our students. It's not just the student life and hostel on their own; they are integrated into the community. The community supports them, and vice versa. The students also support the community, and that's the special feeling or experience we want to create.
Fantastic. Now, okay, let's say I'm a potential student listening to this live stream and hearing this and saying, I want to be part of that. How do they make an application?
Very easy. You can just Google Bo-Karoo Opleiding.
Well, we'll have your website linked down below the video. They can just click on that.
Just click on that. There's a button on the website, say apply here or doen aansoek.
Yeah.
And they can apply, they can give us a call or just chat with us on any social media platform. And if they want to come and visit us, we'll take them around, show them all the hostels, we'll take them through the town and give them that experience as well.
Right. Now what if I'm an Afrikaans, a young Afrikaans kid? Let's say I'm 19, 20. I've got my matric, but I'm living in a squatter camp. Talking about the ability to speak to help in the Handa, is that part of the application process?
Yes, we're making it very easy. So part of the application process is one for financing, and they just click on that, and that opens the page to the student doesn't even know when they move to the Help and Hand site. So it's one easy application. Just fill it in. As part of that, you'll get to Help and Hand, and you can apply there. It's part of our application form, and we're making it an easy application for the students.
That's absolutely amazing. Now, okay, so we know we can get more information through your website. Is there anywhere else they can get? Are there people they can phone and speak to?
Yes, we've got a marketing department that's also on the website. We can even route them to one of our students if they want to speak to a student, to ask them how it is, and especially on the courses, what they're studying and how it is to live here and to work. Like I said, that 3 stages. But yeah, that's very easy. I think the easiest is a WhatsApp, and just chat to them, and we can phone you and answer all your questions.
Now, Paul, I know Orania's got a YouTube channel. Are you going to be setting up a YouTube channel? Because I would suggest you do, because there you could put testimonials from people who've actually done the courses.
Yes, we are launching one. We had yesterday I went through all the videos we're uploading there, so we are launching one in the next week. So people just,
is there any chance I can put a link to that on this live stream? It's going up tonight.
Yes, I can send it. I can send it.
Fantastic, because I think that'll be a huge boost to the interest when they can actually look at this. Okay,
yes,
well that's
like I said, we're still young, and there's a lot of things we need to put in place, and like our social media platforms, but we're working on that to get a broader marketing feel outside, and people need to get the real experience on our platforms. And we're still working on that, but I'll send you that link through, and one step forward.
Now, let's say I'm a parent, or I'm a parent in Cape Town, and I send my son or my daughter to Orania to do one of these courses. I take it that if I want to go and visit, I can just book in a B&B or a local place at Orania, and then I can go and see the kids, see how things are going, and interact that way.
Yes, definitely. That would be lovely. Students, we are working on a say a points here and a son and father and son weekend for the all the boys and for all the girls. We're working on the same concept. But yeah, anytime welcome. The parents can come on a Orania tour through the town, and they can get the experience as well.
Fantastic. Well, look, I would, when I come to South Africa next time, I want to go and see Orania. I want to go and spend a couple of days in Orania because, I know so many people there. And, I mean, what you guys are doing is phenomenal when you consider what's actually happening.
Yes.
Now, just talking about the parents and, the kids, um, what about the future? What are your plans for the future with this organization or this teaching establishment?
Yes. Like I said, we've got a huge potential. And at this stage, while we're talking, we are busy building two new werkswinkels. What is that in English? Work. Uh,
Yeah, factories.
yes, two new practical factories for our students.
Yeah.
And we are moving into them in January 2024. So next year we're moving into that to expand our student numbers. Building that, we're busy building new hostels, new student accommodation.
Wow.
Also in January 2024, we're adding 36 new beds. 2 months after that, adding 24 new beds. So that's in the short term. I'm going to Pretoria next week. We're busy with the architect there, designing 4 new hostels we want to build in 2025. With 150 beds each. So we're starting with phase 1 is 1 hostel. So there's a lot of accommodation coming for student life. On the agricultural side, we're busy with a training farm. In Afrikaans, we call it a proefplaas.
Yeah.
We call our proefplaas the leer my hoe proefplaas. So teach me how proefplaas or the training farm. And there, the students, they need to do everything on the farm then. We're busy rolling that out as we speak. So there's a lot of focus going into the agricultural side. And then on the home care or the carer side, we're also developing a few new courses for students to look out for on that side. So there's a lot of potential. And that's only on the short term. And that's where we're busy now. We are busy with that now. And then after that, we are looking at a huge campus we want to put down here.
Wow.
We've got there's a lot of ground that we can use and build on. So the potential is big, and the students must come and help us build on that. They've got the chance to build the culture of the student life here. And I think that's also something special. While you are a student, you get the opportunity to take part in building the student life for the next generation.
Oh, that's fantastic. I know that I think it was AfriForum who was involved in building a little university in Pretoria, and I think it cost them about 300 million rand to do it, and it was huge.
Yes, that's Soltech, also one of our sister companies. So yes, Soltech in Pretoria doing very well. It's got a very nice campus there, 300 million campus. That's where we are moving towards that as well. Yeah.
So you're actually part of the same organization as Celtic. Oh
Yeah,
wow! Well,
this
that's
movement.
that's really important for people to know because this is not like your first project. This is like just an extension of what you've already been doing elsewhere.
Yes. Yes. So we've got Soltech is also in the trades. They rolled out a IT training line, I think, beginning of this year, and then academia is the higher education side.
Yeah.
Then we also in the trade side. So we're part of a bigger family, and that gives us a lot of support and a lot of structure in what we are doing. So it's not just something new we started here. There's a lot of background within that. If I can explain myself better,
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. So just to summarize, your training organization is centered in Orania, which is without doubt the safest town in the country of South Africa. There's absolutely no question about that. And it's like a little cultural Afrikaans center. And that is its. I mean, look, I think that's fantastic because I'm a huge supporter of the Boers and the Afrikaners. I'm a historian and I understand the history of your people. And I think it's fantastic that you've got this place where you can rebuild and probably create more little Oranias around South Africa.
Yes.
Was that a voice coming through your side?
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's okay. Now,
my children is are on their way to school.
okay. So, well, that's good to know that they're safe. So what I'm saying is Orania thinking of actually setting up like another little cultural community elsewhere in South Africa, or is it just Orania at this stage?
Well, I think that there's still a lot of work in Orania for Orania,
And there's a lot of expansion they can do.
Yes, definitely, and I think one of the main points here is the community is doing it themselves here. So everyone living here is building on the community, and that doesn't stop anyone else in South Africa to start their own community or Afrikaner community there.
Yeah.
But, there's a lot of work here in Orania, and it's difficult to think that someone from out here, while you're still building here, needs to build somewhere else.
Yeah, I understand. And I know when I spoke to yours last, he said that they're actually sharing this model of how they've created Orania with other groups, including the Xhosa. And because they've actually approached Orania and said, look, how can we do this? Because what you're doing is amazing.
Yes. Yes, so definitely. I think there's a lot of things to learn here. But like I said, I think the resources at this stage are going into building the town out and expanding here. But there's a lot of things that we can teach someone else or another community to do the same. Nothing stops them from doing the same, and I think that would be great if communities take responsibility for themselves.
Yeah, and also your students are if they're doing plumbing or other trade training, they're in the absolutely plumb spot to actually get work, because that's where so many houses are being built.
Yes, and look, a lot of them go back to where they come from.
Yeah.
Let's say in Cape Town, and they go work there.
Yeah.
And they make a difference in that community where they are then. But in Orania itself, there's a lot of working opportunities for the students, and that makes it for us. That's a very good integration as well. When the student is done studying, he almost immediately steps into an appointment at one of the companies here.
Fantastic. And when they get a diploma, okay, let's say I've done the course, I've done my 2 years, and I've got my diploma. Who's actually giving that diploma its cred, or it's sort of like this is a real diploma and not something that they bought in a back room?
Yes. Yeah, we work with the South African authority bodies. QCTO is one of them. Our trades, our farming and home care programs go through them. So QCTO is the liggaam, the board.
Yeah.
And we've got accreditation everywhere that
right.
And yeah, so that's that's one of the. I think that's our minimum standard is to get the accreditation. We need to teach the student more than just the academic side to make them a better student, a better worker.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Now, I just want to summarize the costs here because to me, if I was stuck in a squatter camp or if I was in Cape Town and thinking of what am I going to do because of black economic empowerment and I'm 19 years old and I heard that I could go and get board and lodging for 1,800 Rand per month and pay 35 to 45,000 Rand per year for a range of courses, depending on which one it is, in trades, which would set me up for life. And not only that, if I don't have the money to actually get going, if Help and Ahanda say, yes, we will help you, they will provide you with an interest-free loan and cover your costs while you're doing that. I mean, that is an extraordinary offer, isn't it?
Yes, and I can explain that or give more information on the why we give a loan to students, a rent-free loan, and not just the beers or give them the course for free. We want the student to take responsibility in helping the next student study. So when you're done studying and you start paying back on that loan, we use that money to help the next student study. So we're creating a small community and keep rolling that money into a new student and giving them an opportunity to study. So our students, we actually through that we teach them a responsibility.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Look, I just am gobsmacked. I think this is brilliant. I really applaud you. I applaud Orania. I think what Just and his team are doing with the Orania movement is absolutely incredible. And do just say hi to him when you see him next, and from me and from Loving Life. And look, I just wish you all the best.
Thank you very much, Scott. And when you're in Orania or in South Africa, please come and visit us. That would be lovely. And thank you as well for you and your team for this opportunity. We like to tell everyone that what we are doing here, and it's a great opportunity for us. Thank you very much.
Well, I have to tell you, when it comes to my team, I'm so fortunate because I've got, you've spoken to Marlena, who's my PA. I've got Nat, who looks after our forum, and she often puts up, in fact, she does the weekly Orania newsletter on our forum. And that newsletter gets sent out to around the world to thousands of people through our daily email. So, you know, we've got this little network that we have, which is getting your message out there.
Yes, thank you very much, and we appreciate it a lot.
Fantastic. All right, now look, I'm going to wrap up this live stream. I'm sure that you've got to get going and sort out the kids. Is there anything you'd like to say to people before we wrap up? Any message you have for people, students, whatever.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a huge opportunity, and it doesn't matter how old you are. If you want to study something, I think that's part of being a human, is learning more and keep yourself busy and making a difference in the community. And yeah, in Orania is an example of that, but that doesn't stop anyone to do that at anywhere where they live. If you know anyone that wants to study or needs an opportunity to get their life together or get a countryside experience, please send them to us. We'll look after them here, and we'll teach them a lot of how to work, and we'll give them a good experience. And if anyone there wants any more information, please just give us a call.
All right. And as I said, I'll put your website directly below this video so people can easily access you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Paul, thank you so much, and look, have a great day, and it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, Scott. The same to you, and thank you very much.
Okay. Take care, mate. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Sorry guys, I had my thing on mute. That was my discussion earlier today with Paul from tech. It's like a tech college in Orania, and as I mentioned, the link to their website is below this video, so you can go and take that link and have a look. Have a great evening, and I'm going to go out with Hier Bly Ek Boer. And don't forget, Monday night, I'm going to be talking to Colonel Wynand de Tooy, and we're going to unpack what is going on at Suidlanders. All right, guys, take care. Speak to you soon. See you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Johannesburg time.
Meer as 61,000 van ons voorvaders het op die grens vir ons gesterwe, sodat ons vry kan wees. Die is my land, die is my reg. Hier is ek boer. Van stof is ek gemaak en sal ek terugkeer. Die Bybel is die woord waaruit ek leer, soos die grond op die aarde. Hier bly ek boer. Soos 'n dief in die nag sal die vyand kom, maar hier bly ek staan en ek draai nie om, want jy maak my nie bang nie. Hier bly ek boer. Die is my land waarvoor ek sal veg. Die is my bloed, my sweet, my reg. Die is die plek waar my voorvaders leef. Die is my land, hoor wat ek jou sê. Die is my land, wat my mense voer. Hier bly ek boer. Soos 'n blaassam in die somer wat vreugde bring. My oupa wat Manikiro kon sing, soos hy stap deur die lande. Hier was hy boer. My wortels lê diep in die grond geplant. Hy sien soos my pa los ek vir jou die land, en jy hoef nie te vrees nie. Hier sal jy boer. Die is my land waarvoor ek sal veg. Die is my bloed, my sweet, my reg. Die is die plek waar my voorvaders leef. Die is my land, hoor wat ek jou sê. Die is my land, wat my mense voer. Hier bly ek boer. Die sal kom, die leeu 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 sal kom. Die is my land waarvoor ek sal veg. En die is my bloed, my sweet, my reg. Die is die plek waar my voorvaders leef. Die is my land, hoor wat ek jou